Bingo. All right. So I just wanted to say, first of all, welcome everybody who came to the Influential Personal Brand workshop tonight. I really just wanted to thank LaVallie and Zoe for having me. They run an amazing organization. I feel like they do it all. They are on social nonstop, promoting brands, marketing brands, helping people with their socials, whether it is luxury brands, whether it is beverage brands, gyms, all of the things. So they are doing so much. So I want to shoot back to them too. If you need help with your marketing or social, they're the ones who get it done, and they get it done well. It's done really, really well. So thank you guys for having me. I so appreciate it. So a little bit more about me. My name is Amy LaVallie, and I'm a lead brand strategist at Brand Builders Group. And for those of you that are like, what's Brand Builders Group? We are an Inc. 5000 top brand strategy firm. We focus on personal brand strategy, which means we help mission-driven messengers. That's what we like to call our members and our clients. We help them build, market, monetize, and scale their personal brands. So we do a lot. Sometimes it is helping people craft the perfect keynote. Sometimes it is helping people launch a webinar or courses or memberships. And a lot of times what we do is we really help people solidify their messaging so that when they do show up on social media and work with a company like Nomad, they're clear. They know exactly who they're talking to. They know exactly how to get their message across and sell more of what they sell. A lot of what we do is just helping people drive leads back to something that already exists. So we do a lot at Brand Builders Group, but what I'm going to share with you today are a couple of big ideas about how you can become the go-to expert in your space. Right? Because we all want to be the expert, especially in big cities like Miami, where there are so many people and so many businesses. It's really a matter of differentiation. And so I want to help you do a little bit more of that today. Another thing I'll say is because you're here today, or if you're listening to the recording, I did offer a free brand strategy call. So I'll show you a little bit later how to sign up for that. But if what I'm saying is resonating with you today, go ahead and book a free brand strategy call. And I'd love to meet you and chat one-on-one about what it will look like to grow your brand. So let's dive in. All right. So what is a personal brand? Oh, and by the way, too, I love participation. So feel free to throw stuff in the chat throughout this conversation, just so we can keep this more of like a two-way conversation than a one-way conversation. So a personal brand, let's first talk about what a personal brand is not, because there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to what personal branding is. A lot of people think it's like, well, personal brand, is that like your font or your colors or those, which yes, they can be a part of your personal brand. But your personal brand is not how many social media followers you have, unfortunately. It's also not how many YouTube subscribers you have or how many businesses or revenue streams that you have. It's also not how much money you make. What a personal brand is essentially the formalization, digitization, and monetization of your reputation. So the formalization, digitization, and monetization of your reputation. Say that 3 times fast. It's basically what people think of when they think of you. Another name for your personal brand is your reputation, right? So that is what we're really talking about building here. Does it show up on your social media pages? Of course. Does it show up in what you sell? Definitely. Does it maybe show up in how much money you make? Sure, but it's not what a personal brand is. A personal brand is what people think of when they think of you. Okay, so we came up with a formula to help us better understand, like, how do I increase my reputation? How do I grow my reputation? And what we realized is that results times reach equals your reputation. So the reputation formula is results times reach equals your reputation. Let me show you what I mean by that. Taylor Swift, right? Taylor Swift, by the number, she has sold over 13 million albums. Who here is a Swiftie? Any T-Swiftie fans? Yes. Oh, Rita's dancing. I love it. I know Ben. I know LaVallie. Yes, yes, yes. I love T-Swift. And I'm like a newer T-Swift fan. Like, I wasn't a fan, like, not that I wasn't a fan, but I just didn't really hop on the T-Swift bandwagon until a couple of years ago. Now I'm like, I'm all in. But she sold a ton of albums. She's co-written or written all of her songs. She's won 12 Grammys. She's been the artist of the decade. This is so cool. On the Hot 100, she had all 10 of the top 10 songs at one time. Like, that is just baller to me. She's had the highest grossing tour of all time. Like, as we speak, she's performing in London, or maybe this was a couple hours ago. Like, girl doesn't quit, right? She's donated tons of money back to her crew, to causes she cares about, to local food banks. And if she's dated you, there's 1,000% chance you're getting a song. So that's the results. Now, by the reach, Taylor has also created some pretty impressive numbers. Like on Instagram alone, she's got 260 million followers. 260 million. That's crazy. On X or Twitter, she's got 240 million. On Facebook, 80, TikTok, 70, YouTube. Like, girl's got results and girl's got reach. Like, she has done it all. Now, I don't expect all of us to have Taylor Swift level brands, but you can see she is literally firing on all cylinders here. So which is more impactful? Results, what you've done, what you've created, the work that you've done, or the reach? How many people know about you? So I want to hear in the chat. I'm going to go over my other screen. Yes, the best marketer of this generation. I totally agree, Rita. What do you feel? Which one of these do you feel is more impactful? Results or reach? Go ahead and put in the chat. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and just throw it in the chat. Yep, you can say both. That's fine. Okay. Results, reach, Both. Okay. I would say if we were scoring this, it would be like across the board, all of the answers. So let's see. Who knows who this is? Go ahead and put in the chat. Yes, or chat it out. That's fine too. Mm-hmm. Simone, it's the GOAT. Yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. She's amazing. Like, I love watching Olympics, gymnastics so much. Like, any sport is amazing. I loved watching track and field. I loved watching, like, my fiance, he loves watching the volleyball. That's his jam. The gymnastics is just my jam. Like, that is what I want to watch 24/7. So Simone, right? This year, she won 4 gymnastics Olympic medals. Okay. Different colors, but different. I think she got some gold, some silver. She might have got a bronze, but I know she got 4. Okay. So this is Simone. Anybody know who this is? Go ahead and put in the chat. Stephanie's like, I think so, maybe.
Yeah, I think he like won a gold in the all men's. I was watching that too. Like,
okay. Awkward. Yep. Okay, but get this. Get this. This is Shinosuke Oka. And he also won 4 gymnastics Olympic gold medals. Okay, so by the stats, we've got Simone with 4 and then Shinosuke with 4 as well. So these are the results. The results are the same. You know what's different? The reach. Simone's got a much better marketing team. She shares her story so openly. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but she shares her story with her mental health. She's got a Netflix special about the journey that she's been on. I mean, her wedding, like all of the things that Simone does publicly is really, really big. And so I think that this will go down as just her story with how she overcame the twisties, as they called it in gymnastics, as such a public display of like being vulnerable, being authentic, and really truly standing for what you need. She was herself out loud, very publicly, with ridicule and all of those things. I'm not saying he didn't, but we know Simone the GOAT instantaneously. We don't need, she wouldn't even have to have a leotard on for us to know that. So yes, it's about the results, but it's also about the reach. So the answer is, for those of you that were guessing, it is both, all right? But the lack of revenue or the lack of medals is not necessarily your biggest problem. The biggest problem that we face when we're building a personal brand is that we have a lack of a reputation. People don't know who we are. And that gets tough, even if we've achieved all these amazing things, right? Because it's like, but what? I got the degree. I got the job. I built the company. I did the things. But if people don't know about you, they can't do business with you. All right. So the number one thing you need to know so you don't become the world's best kept secret is that reputation precedes revenue. Reputation precedes revenue. People need to know about you so that they can work with you, so that they can give you their money to work with you. Okay. In order to do business with you, people need to see you, right? You need to be visible. People need to know you. They need to feel like they've got some sort of connection to you. And more importantly than even those, they need to trust you. All right. Trust also precedes revenue. We did our company about 3 years ago. We did a personal branding study. And so it's based here just in America, but I believe that these stats will duplicate to other countries as well. But essentially what we did the Trends in Personal Branding National Research Study, and we found that 74% of Americans are more likely to trust someone that has an established personal brand. 74%, right? It means 3/4 of Americans are more likely to trust someone. And down here, you can see by the numbers based on the different generations. So Gen Z, younger millennials, older millennials. I fall into that older millennials. So for our group, right, our 35 to 44, I'm 38, it's 85% of Americans are more likely to trust people with an established personal brand. So I want you to think for a second with your business. And you can put it in the chat if you want to share the business that you're in or the brand that you're building right now, like what it's all about is if your customers are in these different levels, are they younger millennials? Are they older millennials? Are they Gen X? Having a personal brand is going to determine how much they trust you before they ever do business with you. They need to know about you, right? They need to trust you in order to work with you. So these stats were pretty like, whoa, okay, noted. A personal brand is no longer about slapping up a website or picking some brand colors or doing a photo shoot. Even though those things help, it's not the only thing, all right? We also saw that Americans are more likely to buy from, recommend, and do business with people who have established personal brands. Look at 63% of these individuals are more likely to buy from those with a personal brand. 57% is more likely to recommend, right? Have you ever recommended a friend or something before and they're really easy to recommend? They've got an Instagram page that they keep up with. They maybe have like updated their bio. They maybe have a website, or it's easy to show them off. It's easy to say, hey, you should work with this person. They're awesome. And they've got the platform to prove it, right? It's easier to recommend when somebody has an established personal brand. I mean, down here at the very bottom, how crazy is this? 29% of Americans are more likely to date someone if they can look you up online and see you're legit. So in the world of online dating, that rings very, very true. So no need to raise hands. Another thing is 58% of Americans would be more likely to receive services from a professional that doesn't necessarily work for a large company, but has an established personal brand. So gone are the days, and I think who in here, if you're a creator or an influencer, or if you make money based on your name right now, not necessarily work for a big company, just put it in the chat, say, that's me, that's me, that's me. Like if you're a creator, influencer, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's like we don't need to work with New York advertising agencies. Like we have creators and influencers and even micro influencers doing the Lord's work out here. And so I think especially in big cities like Miami and New York and Palm Beach and all of that, it's like the smaller influencers or creators are often more powerful than these big organizations and agencies. So doubling down on you can really make a difference for you and your customers. So let's get down to it a little bit. How can you separate yourself from the crowd, right? So one of the ways that we teach this at Brand Builders Group is we call it Sheehan's Wall. And I just want you to think of this as there's a line down the middle, and on one side, it's kind of like you're unknown. People don't quite know about you yet because you're talking about a lot of different topics, right? One day you're talking about this, one day you're talking about this, one day you're talking about this, one day you're talking about all these different topics. And then you have all these different product offerings. So there's maybe this over here and this over here and this over here. Oh, and then there's this like physical product and a digital product, and the prices are changing all the time. There's all these different products. And then there's all these different profiles. So over here, I'm business Amy, and over here, I'm personal Amy, and over here, I'm fun Amy. And so I've got all these different profiles. And then there's all these different business models. So there's all these different ways that you make money. And then there's all these different jobs. And then there's all these different ideas. Now, this is kind of overwhelming even just to talk about, but what happens when you've got all these different things going on is that it's really hard to break through this proverbial wall. And what ends up happening is we feel like we're like pushing and pushing and pushing to be known versus feeling that pull. Like getting that phone call that's like, yeah, that actually is a great opportunity. I'd love to. It's like, please hire me. Please do business with me. Please recognize that I exist. Put in the chat, like, that's me if you've ever had that before. And I'm going to raise my hand first because I have absolutely been there before. Yeah, it's like, it's really, really frustrating because you feel like you're doing it wrong, but what's happening is you're just diluted, right? And so when you have diluted focus, you get diluted results. I'll say it again. When you have diluted focus, you get diluted results. And it's really frustrating because you guys are working too hard out there to just feel like you're not succeeding. And so what we recommend at Brand Builders, and I hope that you take this away, is that what you want to do to break through the wall is to put all of your energy and all of your attention and as much of your resources as possible into focusing on that one thing that's going to help you break through, become known for one thing. Intentional, hyper-focused effort is what helps you break through the wall and establish your brand. Because what happens over here on the known side is that it feels like a pull. It feels like conversations that are like, oh my gosh, yeah, I would love to do that. Oh, it feels like opportunity is what it truly feels like. And so sometimes it's like, but wait, I don't want to just talk about one thing. I'm so multifaceted. I have so many different talents. Let me show you. I hear you. We all do. And in order to break through the wall, sometimes for a period of time, it makes sense to focus on one thing. For example, Amazon started selling books. Now it sells everything. Dave Ramsey, debt. Now he talks about cash and he's got all these different personalities and he's kind of gone a couple different directions. Brene Brown got her start talking about shame. Now she has opened up to vulnerability. How fun. Gary Vee. Anybody Gary Vee fans here? Like, yeah, like he started talking about wine and now he talks about everything. And so usually what happens, and for those of you that are like, I want to learn about social media, is you want to keep, and I'll share with you how to do this, but you want to keep talking about the same thing, the same topics, the same products, the same focus until it feels like more of a pull than a push. Oftentimes this happens when you're like, oh, I feel like I'm saying the same thing on social media all the time. I feel like I'm sharing the same thing. Good. You should get sick of your content well before your audience does. So don't worry. Okay, because in the age of AI, like too much commoditization, there's way too much of it. There's too many of the same. There's not enough uniqueness. So how you break through the noise is that you find your uniqueness and you exploit it in the service of others. So how do you break through the noise? You find your uniqueness and exploit it in the service of others. And so the number one secret, if you guys are taking notes or virtual notes, go ahead and write this down. The number one secret to building a best-selling personal brand is to know what problem you solve. Number one way to know what problem you solve. All right. And one way to answer that is ask yourself, and I want to see some involvement in the chat here too, is what do you want to be known for? If you were to choose like a one word, a baddie, you are a baddie girl. You are. It's true. But what do you want to be known for? I know that's hard to follow, but please, everyone, step up. What do you want to be known for? Yep, we're done. Marketing and skincare. Community builder. I love it. Inspiration, that you're a creative. Yes. Your go-to. Oh, transforming pain into purpose. Now we're talking. Beautifying people's lives. You all, this is amazing. And if it feels kind of funny, if it feels kind of awkward to put this in here, the problem you solve, what you want to be known for, should make you feel something. It should make you feel, whether it's like a little tingly or a little excited or a little embarrassed, it should draw emotion, because if it doesn't, it's not going to draw out emotion in your audience, right? It's not going to help other people feel something if it doesn't first make you feel something. So I just want to commend you guys for being brave and sharing in the chat, because we're a small group today, but that's the first step. So I want to give you some examples of people in our world today, our history of what problem I believe that they solve. So our girl Oprah Winfrey, we're birthday twins, January 29th, holler. But her problem that I believe she solves is disconnection. She is one through her talk shows and her media company and her movies and her empire. She helps people come together. She helps people connect. She helps people really feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. Jamie Kern-Lima, for those of you who have not met Jamie Kern-Lima or do not know who she is, she's the founder of It Cosmetics that she, for the longest time, she struggled with rosacea. And so she wanted to create a beauty line that would help her own skin, right? It started off kind of selfishly, but also help any other person with skin imperfections, if you will. But she later sold this company to L'Oreal for billions of dollars. I believe that she solves invisibility, right? She helps people just really have the confidence and really be seen for who they are. Leo Messi, anybody here Miami fans? A lot of people. We have non-Miami people as Miami. I love it. So Leo Messi, he solves mediocrity, in my opinion. I believe that he solves mediocrity because for his entire personal and professional life, he is all about excellence. On the field, off the field, with his family, with the choices that he makes. I mean, this guy's awesome. So we're so happy to have him in the city and literally painted on every single wall in Wynwood, right? Any Wynwood people, it's like he's literally on every single wall, but we love you, Leo. And then last but not least, what would a Miami meetup be without Bad Bunny, right? Bad Bunny has worked, in my opinion, to solve marginalization. And he helps perpetuate the cultural representation of underrepresented communities, right? And so I believe that when we can focus on the problem that we solve, we can find the solution too. And so people don't buy necessarily solutions always right away. A lot of times people buy solutions to problems. Like if you think about if you've got like, I don't know, your toilet's leaking or your car's broken, it's like you're going to act fast. You're going to get it fixed. If something's like working fine, it's like it might be fine. So bad example, but people buy solutions to problems. And so what you need to realize is you need to sell the problem just as much as you're selling the solution. People need to be aware that, hey, if you don't pay attention to this, this could be bad. This could not work out in your favor. I mean, I look at LaVallie and Zoe who help with marketing and social media. And what happens if a company isn't going to do it themselves and they don't hire anybody to do it? They will slowly become invisible and nobody will know about their brand. Nobody will know about their business. But by hiring Nomad, they're able to be seen, right? And get their products and services out into the world. And so you have to sell the problem as much as you sell the solution. So in one word, with that so far, this is just a quick little lesson on this. What problem do you think you solve? Go ahead and put it in the chat. I would love to see just off the cuff. What problem do you think you solve? Okay, lack of confidence, Okay, a couple more. Be brave, y'all. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah. Yep. Guys, these are great. And take a look at what's showing up here. Yep, so true. Mm-hmm. Yep, I love this. And so, yeah, these are such great. I mean, guys, we've only been talking about this for 20 minutes and you're already pros. So if you want some help, though, if you want to chat through one-on-one a little bit more about your brand specifically, really what problem you solve and also help answering the rest of the questions I'm about to go through. I did promise everybody here gets a free brand strategy call with me. It's like 45 minutes to an hour. We'll hang out. We'll talk about your brands and you can get it here. So scan the QR code or go to freebrandcall.com/AL. Again, it's freebrandcall.com/AL, and we'll get that scheduled right away. So, and yeah, we'll talk personally and learn about your brand, see if I can help. All right. And we'll throw that in the chat too, and you'll get it after. So yeah, freebrandcall.com/AL. So the first question is, what problem do you solve? But we believe that there are 6 questions that must be answered in order to truly understand where your uniqueness lies. And by uniqueness, the unique way in which you solve the problem that you solve. Now, what it is in this helix, it's how everything works together to get to this core uniqueness to where we see like, what are you supposed to be doing on this earth? You know, your brand, like I said, it's not what you do, it's who you are. So yes, it will apply to your what you sell, but it will apply to you when you walk into a room and you're meeting people for the first time. And so what problem do you solve is the first question. What are you passionate about is another. What have you researched, right? What did you go to school for? What are you interested in? What do you have results in? Right? Like when we talked about the gymnast example earlier, okay, you've got results in gymnastics, great. How does it participate with all of these other questions? That's just one piece of it, which for a lot of us, that can be like, okay, I don't have to be good at everything in order to have a really awesome personal brand. Thank goodness, that takes some of the stress away. But then I want to look at what would people be willing to buy? And then what business are you actually in? So these 6 questions, feel free to screenshot this. I think this is really helpful to spend some time asking yourself like, what are those questions? When we work with our clients at some of our live events, we'll spend a good half a day answering just these questions, sometimes even longer. And so these are deep questions. They're great for journaling. It's great to, when you're having your morning cafecito, ask yourself these questions. And I think it will help reveal a lot about where your uniqueness lies. Now, the top 3 are really about who the world needs you to be. Right? Like what job are you a good fit for? A lot of, like quizzes back in the day were like, what would you be good for? Oh, I'd be a good this, I'd be a good that. What does the world need you to be? That's one piece of it. But what's really cool about a personal brand is you get to choose how you show up. You get to choose how you play in this world. And so the bottom 3 questions are really about who you were designed to be. What lights you up? What makes you happy? Where do you feel just like totally in flow? A lot of times are in those bottom 3 questions. So yeah, feel free to take a screenshot of this. I think these are really helpful questions to spend some time on. So with that being said, how can we automate more trust with more people in less time? Because I don't want you to differentiate yourself just based on knowledge, right? Because there's tons of people out there with the same degree as you, the same job as you, the same a lot of things as you, but you want to differentiate yourself based on trust. And trust is not something that is just given, trust is earned. And so with Sheehan's Wall, what it really does as you're creating intentional, frequent, consistent content, you're really establishing trust. Okay. This doesn't mean that you need to show up on Instagram every single day or YouTube or TikTok or wherever you play online. But it does mean that you've got to have intentional, hyper-focused effort in one place to truly establish trust in that area. So I don't want you to differentiate yourself based on what you do. Differentiate yourself based on who you are. Because we believe at Brand Builders Group that your reputation is really just an assessment of your trustworthiness, right? So your reputation is really just an assessment of your trustworthiness. So we also realize, so who in here, I'd love to hear in the chat, who in here works for a company? Like maybe you're like an entrepreneur on the side. We love that. We love a side hustle, but oh, sweet. So we've got a lot. Oh, this is such a great mix. I love it. So often I get asked like, okay, well, do I need a personal brand? Like I'm a mid-level manager for this big company, or I'm a senior executive for this company. And based on our study, the answer is yes. Probably more so if you're in a company than if you're just an entrepreneur or a founder or a CEO on your own. We said 82% of Americans, right? Like that's a lot, agree that companies are more influential if the founder or executives have a personal brand that they know about, right? I mean, this is wild. Here's some other stats. Like they think companies or organizations should invest in developing personal brands of their leaders. I mean, based on the age ranges over here, so Gen Z, younger millennials, older millennials, right? They think companies or organizations should invest in developing personal brands of their employees, and that companies are more influential when their leaders have established personal brands. So even if you work for a company, yes, entrepreneur, Ben, I love that. It's interesting, the work that Ben and Olivia and I do at Brand Builders Group, we're entrepreneurs. Yes, we work for a company, but we're very much personal brands in our own right. And so people don't do business with companies and products and services and platforms. People do business with people, right? Like we work with companies because we love their representatives. We love their leaders. We love what they stand for. So people do business with people. And so whether you're an entrepreneur, founder, whatever, like you get to choose how people interact with you. Another stat from our personal branding study is that 67% of Americans would be willing to spend more money, right, from companies who have founders that have a personal brand that align with their values. Now, who here, and I would love to hear some of the brands that you guys align with, love, whether they're any kind of brands, but if you align with their founders, you align with their mission, I mean, just based on the data, 67% of people are more likely to work with brands when the values are aligned. And I think we're seeing a lot of that too, is like we vote with our dollar every single day. So go ahead and put in the chat, like, what are some of the brands that you just absolutely love? Tarte Cosmetics, Disney. We know you love Disney, Rita. See, now I'm forever going to think Disney, Rita, podcast producer. Got it. Like it's stuck. Yes, love some Disney. Ben just took his family to Disney. Oh, love that. Oh, research. So cool. Yes. Sunday Riley. Sunday Riley is such a cool brand. Good molecules. Okay, a lot of skincare stuff. See, look at connections are being made. I love this, right? So think about, these are 4 people. I know we talked about Jamie Kern-Lima a little bit ago. I think she had a different hairstyle in the last one. But when we think of IT Cosmetics, we don't just think about the foundation and the concealer. We think of Jamie. When we think of Virgin, right? Like when we look at, has anybody been on a Virgin cruise yet since it's been here? Yes? Was it good? Good? But it's like, if you see any Virgin flight, Virgin boat, Virgin all the things, like Virgin hotels, like our company is Nashville based, so we always stay at the Virgin Hotel when we're in Nashville. Richard Branson, right? Sarah Blakely, Spanx, who, by the way, just launched comfortable heels today. Thank you. Appreciate it, Sarah. We love you. Jeff Bezos, Amazon. And so just really, people do business with people. This is one of the examples I wanted to share with you personally. I'm on my like low tox, no tox living era at this moment. And I really love switching out my products that could be toxic with non-toxic products, you know, because longevity and all the things. And so this girl, her name's Illy, her brand is called Live Healthily. She's a Palm Beach girl. She has a platform, website, store basically, where you can buy all of the healthy low tox or no tox products, everything from skincare. This is not an ad, but I just adore her. I think her brand is so cool. She actually, this over here is her first product that she created. It's called Minerals and Chill. And now I have it for breakfast every morning. It's like potassium, vitamin C, all the good stuff. And so I love buying from this brand because her values align with my values. She makes it really easy. I don't have to think about reading every single label like I do at the store. I just go here, see the products. This is the toothpaste I use, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a brand that I really align with. And so it's important to know, oh, you guys know her, cool. Oh, awesome. So I just think she's so great. I'm like a super fan, even though we haven't met yet. So in order to build trust, people must see you, people must know you, and people must learn from you. All right. So one of the fastest ways that you can do that is having testimonials. And so a testimonial is basically just somebody besides your mom or dad saying you're awesome, right? And so we realized that it's one of the most important factors about hiring somebody is just having testimonials. So if some of you guys are newer, just getting into your brand or business, one of the fastest ways you can gain instant credibility is to ask somebody to say, hey, what did you love about the work that I completed for you? What was your experience working with me? And write these questions down, right? Like if a friend were to come, you know, with the same need that you had, what would you tell them about working with me? What was the experience like, right? And then sometimes too, when you're really new, it can be intimidating. Do your work for free in exchange for feedback. I think that is one of the fastest ways to grow credibility is to do your work for free in exchange for feedback once, maybe twice. And then after that, you're good. They get to pay full price. Okay. So 62% said that having testimonials about their work. And what's wild about this is when we think about, the most important factor in hiring somebody, we're like, well, no, they have a nice website. So often we rush to create the website before the brand. So often we're like, oh, we've got to have our social absolutely perfect. I would rather somebody say, yep, this person does great work than to have a perfectly polished social page. Both are great. But I think a testimonial really, the statistics say it, the data shows it, is the most important thing, right? Here's one more fact. 62% of Americans say that having testimonials is the most important part of hiring somebody. So 62%, guys, go get a testimonial. My homework to you is to ask one of your current or past clients to say something nice about you. And like a bonus is have them write it on LinkedIn, because then it lives on LinkedIn forever, but you can always pull the copy and put it wherever you need it. So ask for a testimonial. That is my homework to you. So how do we go about doing that? We like to call this, and LaVallie and Zoe, they saw a little bit about this at Ampersand a few months ago, but how we build this, how do people see you, know you, trust you, learn from you? It's your relationship engine. And there's 3 main ways that your relationship engine runs. There's the free stuff. So think social media, email marketing, SEO, news hacking and guest writing for different articles and publications. Also guesting on other people's podcasts, right? That's all the free way that you can start to build that credibility and that trust in those relationships before you ever work with people. There's also the paid way, right? And this is what I believe Nomad's awesome about, is all of the paid stuff, right? Ads, PPC, AdWords, influencer marketing. A lot of you guys mentioned influencer marketing here today. Right, all of that, the paid ways to grow your relationships, grow that trust. And then finally, the getting paid, what we really love to help out with is public speaking and writing books and hosting shows. All of these things working together, you have a relationship engine that is working 24/7, 365 to help you grow, market, monetize, and scale your brands, right? So, and imagine all of these efforts working in the same direction, y'all, that is powerful. And so feel free to grab a screenshot of this too. I know some of these graphics are a little bit more intense. So grab it and we're moving on, right? So don't worry about teaching too much, because people don't pay for information. They pay for organization and they pay for application. Sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to give all my best stuff away on social for free. No, give it away, right? Worst case scenario, people are going to keep on asking for more. And then you can customize it for them. You can personalize it for them. You can give them more. You can go deeper. There's so many different ways that you can add value. Don't be afraid to give it all away. Because when you're building a brand, building a business is not nearly as valuable as building a reputation. So don't just focus on converting customers. Focus on creating raving fans. Don't just make money. Making money is great. Focus on making a difference. And if you want to chat more, let's talk. Book a free call. We'll hop on. We'll talk about your brand. I'd love to learn a little bit more about you and serve however I can. So that's all for me today. So I'd love to open this up for any questions that you guys have. I think we've got a couple minutes to do this, and then we've got a giveaway. So a couple giveaways to do at the end. So yay, I love it. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat or raise your hand, and we'll do like 5 minutes of questions, and then you can do your giveaway. Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, we're gonna don't leave. The fun has just begun. I love the marketing besties too. They're amazing. Biggest personal branding mistake. Rita, are you talking about me personally, or just you want me to roast my clients?
Just in general that you see people make when they're building their personal brand.
Ooh, okay. Biggest. So building a personal brand takes time, and it takes intentionality. It's not hard, but it takes intentionality and time. And I see a lot of times people, they stop too soon. They start running in one direction. They're like, oh, it didn't work. And they switch directions and, oh, it didn't work. And they keep almost getting to the point where they're breaking through that proverbial wall that I was talking about, versus just saying like, okay, this is the problem that I solve. This is what I want to help people with. This is the person that I serve, and really going all in on it and serving big. So I think people stop too soon and is what I really see. Or they just get really diluted and distracted and talk about way too many things at once, so people don't know how to follow them or where to follow them. Does that help?
I just want to say, I know we can keep doing the questions, Amy, but please, if you see the screen, first of all, thank you so much. I think it was amazing. Everyone was very interactive and dynamic. So I honestly, one of the best presentations I ever seen. It was so just you explained it in a way that it was understandable and simple. So thank you so much. And the ones that didn't make it or wanted to go back, we're gonna send the transcription and also like the video. And yes, so please scan the QR code to be on the game. We're gonna have 5 questions, and the 3 winners are gonna have the giveaways.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you guys to do the questions until everyone joins.
Awesome. Okay. And somebody mentioned they can't scan. If you just go to freebrandcall.com/AL, it's the same thing. Cool. So I'll put that in the chat for you. You want to do one more question, or do you want to move on to?
There's one more question. Also, what we could do is send an email to everyone that signed up with the link for a free strategy with you. So no worries about that.
Sounds good. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to go Karina's. Hi, Karina. And her question was, should my brand, and this might be a good question for marketing besties as well, but should I have my brand Instagram very elegant with professional pictures or more organically with trendy reels, etc.? So I'll answer short, and I would love to hear from you guys too, is 2012, 13, 14, when Instagram was first making its way into the world, I think it was the aesthetic feed was a thing. And I think now it's like, it's got to just bring value. And so if one of your main values is aesthetics, then sure, that makes sense. But if your values are teaching and education and really helping people, then it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to have all the colors matching and all the things. Now, cohesive is important, right? Like you want to have your brand in line, but I don't think it needs to be this like perfectly polished brand. I think having valuable reels that help people learn or grow with you is more valuable. I would love to hear LaVallie or Zoe too, like your thoughts on that question, because I think that crosses over to you guys as well.
I will say that, as you said, if cohesive and also a structure when you're creating your content, unless you are not pointing to a very ultra luxury market, you don't need to be very creative, because sometimes now, if you're like, I mean, I'm an old millennial too, but if you're kind of Gen Z, young millennial, if you see so like a very creative Instagram feed, it's kind of like not relatable. And one example is TikTok, that nothing made sense, that nobody cared about the aesthetic. But if you see, like, if it's still being cohesive, the message between TikTok and Instagram. But if you are not like very like an influencer only focusing luxury, extra luxury, you don't need to care about that.
That's great. And Zoe, like your brand, you come from a very like luxury brand background. And so like your aesthetic is very, very nice. But you also are timely. Like what I love about you guys' Instagram is like, if there's a trend, you guys are on it. I don't know how you do it, but you are on it. I love it.
The funny thing is, Valeria is way younger than me, but I consume more TikTok than her. I'm on TikTok in some point is going to become like Netflix for me, because I'm working and I'm scrolling a video of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, now it could be more, and I'm still working. It's like my Netflix.
Yeah, heard. So this is great, you guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. So it's time for the game. If there's any other questions in here, I will try to shoot you guys a message to answer those, or I'll make some videos or something, and follow me on social media at The Creative Brand, and I'll answer some of these questions over the coming weeks. So take it away, LaVallie.
Amazing. It's everyone looking at my screen, but yeah. I think it's kind of frozen. Or do you see that it says ready to win some fun giveaways?
It says Kahoot and has everyone's names.
Yeah, I think something is not working. Let me see. It's a little bit slow. But
Yes,
it's,
win. There we go.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know if it's going to the next part, hopefully. Okay. If not, you're gonna see it on your phone. Okay, now question number 1. What is a personal brand? This is something that Amy mentioned. So it's 1, the job title you hold in your current position, your favorite hobbies and pastimes, a collection of logos, and the part 1, what people think about when they think about you. Great. Yes, everyone was right. But this is also who did it faster. So that's the one that's going to win.
Mm-hmm. Ben, did you answer that?
So the first 3 are the ones that are going to get the giveaway. Number 2, what is the reputation formula? Number 1, popularity divided by your number of followers. 2, results and reach, the frequency of your posts minus negative comments. And 4th, your network times your social media likes. I think this is a little bit easy, but let's see.
These are great options.
Nice. Martina, you're first.
Right.
Rita and Steph. Okay, let's go to the 3rd question. What happens when you have diluted focus? I think Amy talked about this like 2 times. You achieve success faster when you become more creative and innovative. You gain more opportunities in different areas, or you get diluted results. I wasn't fast enough. Then we have the 4.
Uh-oh, Miss Disney. Miss Disney.
Number 4. What's the number 1 secret to building a best-selling personal brand? Posting on social media every single day. Following every trend that comes up. Know what problem you're going to solve. Or having the most expensive business card. This is so funny. We just made our business card today. I'm just going to read it.
It's okay.
Yay!
Okay.
And this is the last question. What are testimonials? A trust accelerator, written proof of your certifications and degrees, a list of your favorite quotes, or a summary of your work history and job roles.
Let's see.
Let's see. I think this is going to be a game changer.
Is this 3rd place? Okay. Who is it?
Rita? Rita. Yay!
Congrats! Somebody was in it to win it today.
Thank you all for coming. We're going to send an email with Amy link for a free skip for a free call. Number 1, $50 Amazon gift card. Number 2, a 45-minute social media consultation with Nomad. And number 3 got 2 hours at a local Miami studio that I'm going to send in via email. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you guys for coming. Great to meet everybody.
Great to meet everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Amy, again. It was amazing.
Yay. Oh, it was so fun.
I know you did it super, super fun. So thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, well, I'll send you a link tomorrow morning. I'll send